Over the last 6 years, I've produced over 1000 YouTube videos across 120 businesses, all the way from 6-figure companies up to a business doing over 100 million annual recurring revenue. But through all of this, I've watched hundreds of business owners make the same mistake over and over again. Mistakes that cost them thousands in lost revenue, months of wasted effort, and sometimes made them quit YouTube entirely. So to help make your YouTube journey a lot less painful, here are 25 lessons I've learned from producing over 1000 YouTube videos for businesses. Let's go! Most business owners structure their videos the same way. They start with the basics, the things everyone already knows, and then they build up to the good stuff at the end. When you think about it, it makes sense, right? You start simple and work your way up. I used to see this all the time. A client would make a video with 10 points and they'd put the most interesting one at point number 8. But by the time they get there, 80% of their viewers were already gone. Therefore, after your hook pulls someone in, the very first thing you say needs to be something they have never heard before. Something that's so uniquely insightful they think, wait, I didn't know that. Because when that happens, they get a dopamine hit. They've just learned something new and now they assume the rest of the video is going to be just as good. So they keep watching. But if instead you open with the most obvious point, the thing they have heard 100 times from 100 other channels, they assume the rest of the video is going to be the same and click away. So in your next video, put your most uniquely insightful point first. Either say something your audience genuinely hasn't heard before, or take something they have heard and present it in a completely new way. You need to give them a reason to believe the rest of the video is worth their time. Lesson number 1 is your first talking point after the hook, because most viewers decide here if they're staying or leaving. So lead with the things they have never heard before, not the things everyone already knows. I spent a long time trying to understand why people actually watch YouTube, and once I figured it out, it changed how I approach every single video. I realized people are on YouTube for one reason: stimulation. If someone is watching entertainment content, they're bored and they want not to be bored anymore. If someone is watching educational content, they have a problem and they want that problem solved. Your video needs to be the thing that moves them from their current state to their desired state. When someone clicks on your video, they're looking to satisfy a curiosity, cure their boredom, elevate the pain, or move closer to something they desire. That's it. Every single click on YouTube comes down to one of these 4 things. And once you understand that, everything about YouTube becomes simpler. Your video idea needs to promise that stimulation. Your title and thumbnail need to position your video as a thing that's going to get them from their current state to their desired state. Your hook needs to confirm that if they stick around, they're going to get that stimulation. And your content needs to actually deliver on it. Because when you deliver on that stimulation, when you actually solve their problem or satisfy their curiosity, they trust you. They come back, then they will watch more, and eventually they want to work with you, because by then you've proven over and over and over again that you can move them from where they are to where they want to be. So every time you make a video, ask yourself, what is the stimulation I'm providing? What is the current state my viewer is in right now? And what is the desired state I'm moving them to? If you can't answer that clearly, your video doesn't have a reason to exist. But when you can answer it, everything else, your title, your thumbnail, your hook, your script, becomes obvious. So lesson number 2 is that people are on YouTube for stimulation. Your only job is to move them from where they are to where they want to be. Every click, every view, every subscriber comes down to that. Whenever a business owner comes to me and says YouTube isn't working, the first thing I look at isn't their editing, their lighting, or their subscriber count, but their video ideas. And almost every single time they're making videos nobody wants to watch. They spend 12 hours filming and editing a video that has 0 demand, because YouTube is literally just research. You have to figure out what people actually want to watch, where the demand is, where the low supply is, or where the gap is you can fill based on your expertise and your perspective. And you want to do this because your video idea is the most important thing on YouTube. It determines everything else, how many people will see it, how many people click on it, and how many people watch it. I rather spend 11 hours doing research to find the one video idea I know is going to work, and then spend 1 hour making that video, than spending 12 hours making a video on a topic that has zero demand. So before you pick up your camera or write a single word of your script, do the research. Go to YouTube and find out what your audience is actually watching. Only then make that video. So lesson number 3 is your video idea matters more than your video. Spend your time on research, not the production. I used to have clients message me in panic because their click-through rate dropped from 8% to 4%. They would say something isn't working, my thumbnail must be dead, should we change it? And I would have a look at their video analytics only to realize it was actually doing great. It was getting pushed out to more people than any video they had ever made before. So what was actually going on? Well, when your video starts getting pushed out to new audiences, your click-through rate and average view duration will naturally go down. That's not a bad sign, it's actually a good sign, because YouTube is testing your video with people who have never seen you before. They don't know you and they definitely don't trust you. So of course fewer of them are going to click. And the ones who do click are going to watch for a minute or two instead of the full video because they're still trying to figure out if you're worth their time. But that doesn't mean your thumbnail sucks. It means YouTube is doing its job and showing your video to new people. In fact, your video is getting more impressions than usual and your click-through rate is dropping. Don't panic, and definitely don't change your thumbnail. Let YouTube just do its thing as it's finding new audiences for you. So lesson number 4 shows a drop in click-through rate doesn't mean your video is failing. Most of the time, it means your video is growing and you've implemented steps 2 and steps 3 correctly. I've worked with business owners who know their stuff inside out. They would have decades of experience, incredible results for their clients, but when they get on camera, they either freeze up and sound like they're reading a textbook, or they go the other way and come across like they're lecturing you. And neither works, because the two things that make the biggest difference on camera are conviction and fun. Conviction means you believe in what you're saying. You're not apologizing for your ideas or hedging with, well, maybe this could work for you as well, I'm not really sure. But you're saying, I've done this for years, this is what works, you can take it or leave it. Just to be clear, this isn't being arrogant. You're just being honest about your experience, and people want to listen to someone confident in what they're teaching. But conviction alone makes you intense, so you also need to have some fun. Be lighthearted, smile and enjoy yourself, because people don't just want to learn from someone great at what they do, they want to learn from someone who is great at what they do and is actually enjoyable to watch, because this makes them assume you will be fun to work with as well. Just think about the people you follow online. They're probably really good at what they do and they look like they're having a good time doing it. So next time you hit record, check yourself on these two things. Am I speaking with conviction? And am I actually having fun? If you're missing either one, it's going to show. And that's lesson number 5. Show conviction and have fun. That's what makes people want to watch you and eventually want to work with you. And one doesn't work without the other. I see business owners do this all the time. They post a video, it doesn't get views in the first few days and they start changing. First, they change the title. Next, they upload a new thumbnail. Then they change the title again. And within the first week, they've changed it 4 times and the video still isn't performing. So they assume the video was bad, but they couldn't be more wrong. If you've done your research properly, your title is already set by the format you're using. You already know the words work because you've seen them work on other videos. And you already know the topic has demand because you've researched this. So when the video doesn't take off immediately, the title probably isn't the problem. YouTube sometimes just needs time. Whether it's the algorithm still testing your video or your channel that needs a few more videos because YouTube fully understands who your audience is. The only thing I've learned is that you need to use the exact words your market uses. If your audience says financial advisor and not financial planner, then use that wording that resonates with them. Those subtle changes make a huge difference to how your content performs, and the only way you can know this is by doing the research. So for your next video, keep your title under 50 characters and use the wording that your market actually uses. And as lesson number 6 says, if you've done the research and you know the idea is solid, give it time. Changing your title every day won't fix your video, but patience will. I've had business owners come to me posting 2 or 3 times a week. They were exhausted and burned out, yet their videos were still getting barely 200 views. They were following this schedule because someone told them they needed to be consistent and interpreted that as pumping out as many videos as possible. But the truth is, consistency only matters if you're making videos people actually want to watch. If you're forcing yourself to post twice a week but the quality isn't there, you're just posting out mediocre content faster. I would rather spend an entire month on one video. One video where I've done the research, I know there is demand, I found the right format, I can package it perfectly, and we can bring through the best possible information. Because that one video will outperform an entire month of mediocre content every single time. So when YouTube experts talk about being consistent, they mean be consistent with your quality, not your quantity. If that means one video a week, do one video a week. If that means one video a month, because that's what it takes to make something great, do one video a month. Don't sacrifice the quality of your content just to hit some posting schedule you read about online. So lesson number 7 is consistently doesn't mean posting more. It means never dropping your standard. One great video beats 10 mediocre ones every time. I had a client whose thumbnail looked like he was about to do a vlog. He was outside, it was casual, and it looked like he was walking somewhere. But when you clicked on the video, he was just sitting at his desk doing a talking head, which resulted in a terrible retention in the first 10 seconds. People were clicking off immediately because your thumbnail sets an expectation. And if the video doesn't match that expectation, you've broken the viewer's trust before you even said a word. They click off subconsciously because something just feels wrong. Instead, a good thumbnail does 3 things. First, it shows the creator so people can start recognizing your face and know what kind of videos they're about to watch. Second, it has curiosity text that raises questions in the viewer's mind and makes them want to click to get the answer. And third, it shows the right environment so the viewer knows exactly what they're getting into. If your video is a talking head at your desk, your thumbnail should show you at your desk, not walking around on the street because you need to match the viewer's expectation. But above all, keep your thumbnail simple. Add those 3 elements and nothing else. The worst thumbnails are the ones that overcomplicate things, and that's why lesson number 8 is about setting the right expectations with your thumbnail. Because if your video doesn't match that expectations, viewers will leave before you even open your mouth. I review a lot of scripts from business owners, and I can tell within the first few lines if they wrote it themselves or if they got ChatGPT to do it. It's not just that it sounds robotic, it's that the structure makes no sense. There is no natural flow and the talking points don't connect. It just doesn't feel like a video that was designed to keep you watching. Because if you want to retain viewers, you should not create a structure from the top of your mind, let alone have AI do it. The structure of your video should come from the format you're using. If you've done your research and found a format that works, that format already tells you how to structure your video. The format shows you how long the hook should be, how you should move from point to point, whether it should be rapid fire or go deep into each section, and where you should place your CTA. All those answers are already there in the video that succeeded with the format. You just have to study it. And the reason you can't outsource this to ChatGPT is because everyone has access to ChatGPT, which means everyone is getting the same phrases, the same structure, the same generic flow. Your video will end up sounding like every other video out there. Instead, go watch the video that succeeded with the format you're using and study how they structured it. Take that structure, apply it to your topic, and insert your own expertise. That's lesson number 9. Stop guessing how to structure your videos because the format already has the answer. You just need to use it. I've seen business owners spend thousands of dollars on video editing. Crazy transitions, sound effects, zooms, memes, graphics flying everywhere, but their videos will still not get views. While others record a simple talking head video on their phone with barely any editing at all and end up getting thousands of views. How is that possible? Well, the truth is that video editing never made a difference. In fact, video editing is the least important part of the video production. And I know that sounds crazy, but let me explain. The most important thing is your video idea. Your video idea determines how good your title and thumbnail can be. It determines how good your script can be. If you're making a video nobody wants to watch, it doesn't matter how beautiful your editing is. After your video idea, the second most important thing is your video packaging, your title and thumbnail, because that's what gets people to click. Then it's your script. Are you opening curiosity gaps? Are you delivering on the promise set by your title? Are you reopening new loops every time you close one so that viewers keep wanting to stay? And after all of that, editing comes last, because if you made a video that people genuinely want to watch and you just recorded it with you talking, that video would get views anyways. The editing wouldn't change that. And there is something else I've noticed. When people over-edit their videos, it's usually because they're insecure about the video idea. Subconsciously, they know they haven't spent enough time on the research, so they try to overcompensate with flashy editing to keep people watching. But that's working backwards. In fact, the way we edit is simple. We visually show viewers what the creator is saying. They hear it and they see it at the same time. The only thing we do is take them by the hand and guide them through the video without any crazy effects, zooms or transitions. So if you want to improve your videos, prioritize in this order. Video idea first, then the title and thumbnail, then your script, then your editing. Because lesson number 10 shows us that editing is the least important part of making a YouTube video. Yet most people spend more time on their editing than on their video idea and wonder why nothing works. Almost every business owner I've worked with does the same thing at the end of their videos. They say something like, if you want to work with me, click the link in the description or book a free consultation below. And when the video ends, the viewer leaves YouTube. They might click the link, but they probably don't. Either way, they're gone. And that's the worst engagement signal you can give to YouTube. Instead, the only CTA you should make at the end of your video is to get someone to watch another video on your channel. Think about what YouTube wants. YouTube wants people to stay on the platform for as long as possible. If you're sending people away from YouTube at the end of every video, you're working against what YouTube wants, and YouTube will stop rewarding you for that. But if you get someone to watch another video and then another video after that and then another one, you're creating a binge session and YouTube loves that. It will push your content harder because you're giving YouTube exactly what it wants. And the best part still has to come, because after someone watching 5 or 6 of your videos, they don't need a CTA to work with you. They're already sold. They will find the link themselves. So next time, at the end of your video, open another curiosity gap. Position the next video as the next logical step in their journey. Something like, now that you've learned this, none of it actually matters if you don't get this next part right. And then link to the video that covers that next part. Get them to stay on your channel as long as possible. So lesson number 11 is to stop sending people away from YouTube at the end of your video. Get them to watch another video. YouTube will reward you for it and your viewers will sell themselves after watching 5 or 6 of your videos. I have clients who spend more time watching their competitors' videos than making their own. They're checking their views, their subscriber count and their comments. They're obsessing over what their competition is doing every single week, and it paralyzes them. They either copy what their competitor is doing or they get discouraged because their competitor is further ahead. But the only time I look at competition is during market research. I want to understand what's already being served to the market, what topics are working, and what's getting views. That's it. After that, I don't care about them anymore. I care about us. Are we making a better video than we made last week? Are we improving our video ideas? Are we executing better? Are our thumbnails getting stronger? Are we using words that actually resonate with our market? Those are the things that matter, not obsessing over what someone else is doing. So yes, use your competitors for research, but once that's done, close their channel and focus entirely on making the best possible video for your audience. You're only competing with yourself, not with them. And that's lesson number 12. Your competitors are useful for research and nothing else. After that, the only channel you should be trying to beat is your own. Everyone asks me the same question. How long will it take before YouTube starts working for my business? And I get why they ask it. They want to understand if it's worth their time. But there is no universal answer. The honest answer is, it depends. And I know that's not what people want to hear. I had a client who had been posting for 2 years. He had 3,000 subscribers, YouTube already trusted his channel, and he knew his audience. So when we came in, we fixed his video ideas, executed them properly, and innovated with formats his market had never seen before. Within 3 months, he passed 15,000 subscribers and had a fully booked schedule for the next 4 months. He ended up taking 250 sales calls in a single month, all from YouTube. But I've also worked with channels that were brand new, so there was no history and no trust with YouTube. And those channels just take longer. But how fast your channel grows comes down to one thing. It all depends on how much YouTube trusts you. And the way you build that trust is by making content for one specific viewer persona. One person you're speaking to in every single video. Yet, what most business owners end up doing is building a channel around 2 different audiences. But when you do that, YouTube gets confused. It doesn't know who to push your videos to. YouTube has the best recommendation algorithm in the world if you know who you want to target. So pick one audience, make every video for that one person and build trust with YouTube by being consistent with who you're speaking to. The growth will come, and when it does, it's exponential. But you have to give YouTube the clarity it needs to know who your content is for. So lesson number 13 is that YouTube growth is exponential, but it starts with trust. Speak to one audience, make content just for them, and let YouTube do the rest. The channel that tried to speak to everyone ended up reaching no one. I worked with a channel that was posting shorts and long-form videos on the same channel. Their long-form videos were dying shortly after publishing them, and they couldn't figure out why. When I looked at the data, it was obvious. They had built an audience of shorts viewers, people with lower attention spans who consume content completely differently. So every time they posted a long-form video, YouTube showed it to those shorts viewers first. They would click, watch for 30 seconds and leave. YouTube interpreted that as the video wasn't good enough and stopped recommending it to potential viewers. Because when you post a video, YouTube first shows it to people who already have interacted with your channel. These are a mix of your subscribers and people who have watched your video before. That's what they call your test audience. If those people click and watch, YouTube thinks, okay, this video is good, and starts pushing it out to new people. It keeps testing it with different audiences until the video stops performing. But if your own audience doesn't watch, YouTube kills the video right there. It never gets a chance to reach new people. This is why your click-through rate and average view duration should be at their highest right when you post, because that's when your most loyal viewers are watching. If the numbers are low from the start, it means one of 2 things. Either you've built the wrong audience on your channel, or you've made a video your audience doesn't want to watch. So build one audience on your channel. Don't mix short viewers with long-form viewers, because when your core audience watches and enjoys your videos, YouTube does the rest. And that's lesson number 14. YouTube always tests your videos on your existing audience first. If they don't watch, nobody else will ever see it. So make sure you're building the right audience and making videos they actually want. I've worked with business owners who are getting decent views, but nobody was reaching out after watching their video. When I looked at their content, I saw the problem immediately. They were commentators, as every video they made was about the latest news in their industry. The law just changed, the government just announced this, here is what Trump just did. At this point, they're reporting information and people can get that from anywhere. Because although those videos get lots of views, people don't reach out to commentators, but they reach out to authorities. The difference is simple. A commentator tells you what happened. An authority tells you what to do about it based on their own experience solving that exact problem. So when you make a video, share stories of how you've solved the problems your audience is dealing with, speak directly to where they are right now and where they want to be, and deliver real value that actually helps them. That's when they start seeing you as the person who can help them. Not because you told them to hire you, but because they watched your video and thought, this person actually understands my situation. If you want that, stop being a news channel and make videos people want to watch based on your research while inserting yourself as the authority. Tell stories from your own experience to show them you've solved the exact problem they're dealing with right now. If you do that consistently, people will reach out without you ever having to ask. So lesson number 15 is that nobody hires a commentator, but people hire authorities. So stop reporting the news and start showing your audience that you're the person who can solve their problem. I used to watch business owners just wing their hooks. They would hit record and say whatever came to mind without any second thought. Something like, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about, and then they ramble for 2 minutes before getting to the point. But by that time, half of their viewers were already gone. That's why the hook of your video is so important. It's like reeling in a fish. That's why it's called hook in the first place. Because your title and thumbnail are the bait. Maybe you get a bite and someone clicks, but that doesn't mean you've caught them. You can still lose them in the first 30 seconds if your hook doesn't do its job. Your hook needs to do 4 things. First, validate the title. People click because your title set an expectation. Your hook needs to confirm they're going to get what they came for. Second, build authority. Give them a reason to believe you're the right person to be speaking about this topic. Why should they listen to you? What's your experience? What's your track record? Third, give them a roadmap. Show them what's coming in the video without revealing everything. Let them see the full picture so they can believe it's worth sticking around for this video. It's your job to set an expectation for the journey they're about to go on. And fourth, never reveal anything up front. Cut out all the words that don't bring value and insert enough curiosity that they have to keep watching to get the answers. When you hit all 4 of those things, you've reeled them in. Now you just have to deliver on the promise and be uniquely insightful from the very first point. To make sure you touch upon all 4, always script your hook word for word. Don't try to wing it because your hook is where your viewer decide if they're staying or leaving. Always treat it like the most important 30 seconds of your video because it is. So lesson number 16 is your hook. Your title and thumbnail get the click, but the hook gets the commitment. So script it, hit all 4 points, and never wing it. Early on, I spent $4,000 joining a YouTube mentorship program. I thought that was the shortcut. Just pay someone else who's already figured it out, skip the learning curve, and gets results faster. But by the end of it, I felt like I barely learned anything. And I realized that if I had just taken that $4,000 and invested it into making my own content by paying for better thumbnails, testing different formats, and actually producing videos, I would have learned 10 times more than I did sitting in that program. Because you can't understand YouTube until you've actually done it yourself. And I mean really done it yourself. You have to go through the pain of picking a topic, writing a script, recording, editing, publishing, and watching it get 50 views. Because YouTube isn't just one skill, it's like 15 different skills stacked on top of each other. The research, the video ideas, the packaging, the titles, the thumbnails, the scripting, the storytelling, the pacing, the editing, the descriptions. You don't understand how all of these pieces fit together until you've tried to make them fit yourself. And here's the real problem with paying someone to do it for you before you've tried it yourself. How do you know if they're going to do a good job? How do you know you couldn't do it better? And how do you know even what a good video looks like if you've never gone through the process of making one? You're just trusting that whoever you're paying knows what they're doing, and a lot of time they don't either. Instead of investing in a coach or a mentor, invest in your own content first. Put your budget into actually producing videos so you can learn what works and what doesn't work through your own experience. Then, when you do decide to bring someone in to help, you will know exactly what good looks like. You will be able to tell within 5 minutes if the person you're paying actually knows their stuff, because you've already been in the trenches yourself. And that's why lesson number 17 is to invest in your own content before you invest in someone else. You will learn more from spending $4,000 on making your own videos than you will from spending $4,000 on a mentorship that teaches you theory. When I was managing 30 to 40 channels at the same time, I could see everything side by side. The same strategies with the same level of effort leading to the same quality of content. But some channels would take off within weeks and others would take months to get any traction at all. I kept asking myself what was different. And after watching this play out across that many channels, I realized it comes down to two things. The first thing is trust. Does YouTube trust your channel? Because if YouTube doesn't trust you yet, everything is going to be slower. Your videos won't get pushed out as fast because YouTube won't know who to show them to. You're essentially proving yourself before YouTube gives you the green light. This is why I always tell people to post on a channel that already has some history with YouTube. It's enough to have some watch history and some time on the platform, because that way you have already started building trust. If you're starting completely fresh with no subscribers and no videos, that's fine, but you need to understand that YouTube still needs to learn to trust you, and that takes time. The second thing, and this is the one that actually determines whether your channel explodes or not, is your video idea. The channels that grew the fastest were the ones where we found a gap in the market with high demand and low supply. A topic that people wanted to watch but nobody was covering well. And we positioned our client as the authority on that topic. Last year, I launched a channel that hit 1 million views in 20 days. It took me 8 videos before YouTube actually started testing the channel, so I posted every single day for 8 days. The first 7 didn't do much, but then the 8 blew up, because by that point YouTube trusted the channel enough to start pushing it out, and the video idea was strong enough to take off. If you've done your research and you're confident in your video ideas and your videos aren't taking off yet, the answer is almost always that YouTube doesn't trust you enough yet. If you're in that position, keep posting, don't panic, and definitely don't change your strategy. Just keep giving YouTube reasons to trust you, because once the tipping point is reached and your videos ideas are strong, the growth happens so fast. So lesson number 18 shows that YouTube growth comes down to two things: trust and video ideas that cover a gap in your market. If you get both right, it's only a matter of time. I've worked with businesses doing 6 figures, and I've worked with businesses doing over 100 million in revenue. And the one thing that surprised me the most had nothing to do with budget, resources, or team size. Instead, the channels that grew the fastest were the ones where I could speak directly to the founder. Oftentimes, the bigger the company, the more people want to be involved in the YouTube video. You've got compliance that needs to review it, you've got marketing that wants to add its input, and you've got someone's manager who would think the thumbnail should look different. And by the time the video goes through all of those people, it's been watered down to nothing. It's like a broken telephone. You start with a great video idea, and by the time it's reviewed by 10 people, it's completely different from what it was supposed to be. The hook gets softened because the legal department gets nervous, the title gets changed because someone in marketing thinks it should be more professional, and the script gets rewritten because 3 different departments all added their opinions. And then the video goes out and it performs terribly. And everyone's asking why. Meanwhile, I have clients who are solo founders or small business owners with whom I speak directly. I just show them the video idea, the title and the script outline. They record it and we post. And the channel grows because we're moving fast and making decisions based on what YouTube actually rewards, not what makes a compliance department comfortable. So if you're a business owner and you want YouTube to work for you, be the decision maker. Don't send your videos through 5 departments before they go live, and definitely don't ask people who don't understand YouTube for their input. The more people involved in the process, the slower you move and the worse your content gets. Keep the chain of command as short as possible. Ideally, it's just you and whoever is helping with your YouTube strategy. That's why lesson number 19 is one I experience myself all the time. The fastest growing YouTube channels have zero chain of command. The more people involved in improving your videos, the slower you grow. When I started a channel that hit 1 million views in 20 days, the first 7 days were quiet. I was posting every single day and nothing was really happening. It was just me uploading videos into what felt like a void. Yet, the thing that kept me going was that I had already committed to a timeline. I told myself I was in this for 1 to 3 months minimum. And if after that window I wasn't seeing any traction, then I would re-evaluate everything. But until that window was up, I wasn't allowed to judge the results. And that changed everything about how I operated. Because I wasn't checking my analytics after every upload, hoping for a miracle, neither did I second guess my video ideas after 2 days of low views. I just had a timeline and I was sticking to it. The other thing that happened naturally from posting every single day was that I didn't have time to overthink. When your deadline is today, you don't get to spend 3 hours debating whether your thumbnail should be slightly different. You make the video, you post it, and you move on to the next one. And every single day I just focused on one thing: making today's video 1% better than yesterday's. Could I improve the script a little bit? Could the title be tighter? Could I test a different upload time? And I genuinely didn't expect the channel to blow up as fast as it did. But looking back, I think that's exactly why it worked. I wasn't putting pressure on any single video to perform. I was just focused on getting better and trusting the process. So if you're posting on YouTube, give yourself a timeline before you start and commit to it fully. Don't make the mistake of judging your results after 1 week and re-evaluating your strategy after 3 videos. Just keep posting, keep improving by 1% every day and let YouTube do its thing. The pressure you put on individual videos to perform is the same pressure that makes you overthink, second guess and eventually quit. Which leads me to lesson number 20. Commit to a timeline and don't judge the results until that timeline is up. The channel that got me 1 million views in 20 days looked like a failure for the first 7 days. If I had quit after day 3, it never would have happened. When I started my YouTube journey, all my attention would go to YouTube search. I spent months trying to rank videos for specific keywords, using tools like vidIQ to find search volume and optimizing my titles and descriptions for SEO. I just did everything the YouTube gurus tell you to do. And it worked eventually. After 3 to 4 months, some of my videos started ranking. But the viewers I was getting from search were completely different from what I expected, because search viewers don't care about you. They only care about the topic. They have a specific problem, they search for it, they click on your video, they fast forward through everything until they get to the part that solves their problem, which usually takes about 20 to 30 seconds, and then they leave without subscribing, watching your other videos, let alone becoming a client. So you've waited 3 to 4 months for your video to rank and the people watching it don't care about you at all. Why would you do that? If you compare that to browse and suggested traffic, which are viewers from the YouTube homepage and the videos YouTube recommends after someone finishing watching a video, the intent is completely different because these viewers are there to learn and find someone they trust. When you make a video that shows up on browse and it solves their problem while giving them a great experience, they go to watch more of your videos and eventually become buyers. And on top of that, the other thing I realized is that finding a gap in the market for search traffic is actually harder than finding one for browse. Because so many people have been making search optimized videos for years, most of the obvious search terms are already covered by established channels. But on browse, you just need to find a topic with demand and present it in a way your audience hasn't seen before. That's it. And those keyword tools that everyone swears by? I ended up comparing vidIQ's search volume numbers to Google Trends, and they don't even match up. So I don't know where vidIQ is getting its data because Google owns YouTube. That's why I stopped trusting those tools a long time ago. So lesson number 21 shows that search traffic gives you viewers who don't care about you, while browse traffic gives you viewers who become clients. That's why you want to make videos people actually want to watch instead of just optimizing for keywords. I've hired over 200 freelancers over the last 6 years, all the way from video editors to thumbnail designers, script writers, and researchers. And I can tell you that the majority of them were not as good as they said they were. Early on, I used to hire based on what people told me. They would send me a portfolio, say all the right things, and I'd bring them on. Then I get the first deliverable back, and it was nothing like what they promised. I wasted so much money learning this lesson because people like to overhype themselves. 99 times out of 100, what someone says they can do and what they actually deliver are two completely different things. They will attach work to their portfolio that they never actually made. They will talk about results they had nothing to do with. And because you don't know any better, you believe them. So I stopped listening to what people say. Instead, I started letting their work tell me how good they actually are. Now, whenever I'm hiring someone, I don't care about their portfolio or their work experience. On that call, I only care about their personality and I ask them to do a test. If it's a video editor, I ask them to do a 1-minute sample edit using my actual content. And that's enough because you can tell within 60 seconds if someone is talented. You can see their pacing, their attention to detail, how they handle text on screen, and whether they actually understand what the video is trying to do. It tells you everything you need to know. So if you're hiring someone to help with your YouTube, don't take their portfolio for granted. Instead, use it as a first indicator and make them do a test on your own content. It's crucial you use your own content because you want to understand what the skills would look like applied to your video. And if they refuse to do it, that tells you everything you need to know about how hungry they actually are. In lesson number 22, make sure you don't fall for the same mistake I made countless times and never hire based on what someone says they can do. Let their work speak for itself with a short test without wasting thousands of dollars on over-promising talent. Go into any niche on YouTube right now and look at the top 10 channels. I guarantee you that at least 7 of them are making the exact same videos as each other. I mean the exact same topics, titles and thumbnails because everyone is just copying whoever has the most subscribers in their space. But when everyone is making the same video, yours doesn't stand out. It's basically supply and demand. If there are 50 videos that look all the same, why would anyone click on yours? So the business owners I've seen blow up on YouTube all did the same thing. They found a topic their audience already wanted to watch and they presented it in a way their audience had never seen before. They didn't copy their niche, but brought something new to it. That's why you need to look at what's working across all of YouTube, not just in your niche. Find a format that's getting views in other niches and apply it to a topic your audience cares about. Because when you use a format that your audience has never seen before and combine it with a topic they want to watch, then you have presented your video in a new way that immediately grabs attention. So lesson number 23 focuses on stop copying your niche. The business owners who win on YouTube bring something new to their audience on topics they already want to watch. I used to watch business owners freeze up the moment someone told them they need to use storytelling in their videos. They would think they need to craft these elaborate narratives with plot twists and emotional arcs, like they need to become a Hollywood scriptwriter just to make a YouTube video. So they would either force it and it would come across as awkward and unnatural, or they would skip it entirely and just list information like a textbook. But storytelling is nothing like that. It's just a beginning, a middle, and an end. That's it. A client came to you, that's the beginning. They had a problem, that's the middle. You solved it, that's the end. You don't need to overthink this, and you definitely don't need some fancy framework. You just need to talk about your own life and the clients you've worked with, because when you do that, you naturally start speaking in stories without even trying. In the end, a story is just taking the viewer from where someone was to what went wrong to how it got fixed. And if you've been in business for any amount of time, you've thousands of those stories already sitting in your head. You just haven't thought of them as stories. And don't make the mistake of trying to force everything into a story. Instead, when you're explaining a concept or teaching something, ask yourself, do I have a real example from my own experience, whether it's a client situation or something that happened to me? If you do it, just tell it. Because lesson number 24 shows that storytelling isn't complicated. It's about giving a beginning, a middle, and an end to your own life experiences. When you do that, you're already telling stories. If I could go back to February 2019, when I first started on YouTube, this is the one thing I would tell myself. I used to spend weeks on a single video, rewriting the scripts over and over, adjusting the thumbnail 5 times, and watching the edit back to find something new to fix every single time. I was so obsessed with making it perfect that I go weeks without actually posting anything. Yet, after posting more than 1,000 videos, I understand that done is better than perfect. And I know that sounds cheesy, but let me explain why it actually matters on YouTube. YouTube rewards you for posting. Every video you put out gives YouTube more data about your channel, more content to recommend, and more opportunities to find your audience. When you don't post, none of that happens and you will remain invisible. The business owners I've seen grow the fastest aren't the ones who making perfect videos. They're the ones who give 100% to every video, but also give themselves a deadline and stick to it. Whenever the deadline arrives, they publish the video and focus on making the next one better. Because here's what happens when you chase perfection. You overthink and second guess everything. So you end up pushing the upload date back. And before you know it, a month has gone by and you haven't posted anything. Meanwhile, your competitor posted 4 videos and YouTube is learning everything about their audience. Give yourself a deadline for every video, and when the deadline comes, the video goes out. No excuses. It doesn't matter if you think the thumbnail could be slightly better or the hook could be a little tighter. Post it, learn from it, and make the next one better. The compounding effect of YouTube only works if you actually have videos on your channel. So for lesson number 25, you need to stop being a perfectionist because done is better than perfect. Give every video your all, but give yourself a deadline and stick to it. The worst thing you can do on YouTube is not post. Those are the 25 lessons I've learned from making over 1,000 YouTube videos for businesses. But one of the most common questions I get is how to actually set up your YouTube channel the right way so you don't waste your first few months without getting views. That's exactly why I made this video right here, where I walk you through step by step how to set up a YouTube channel that's built to bring clients into your business from day one. I'll see you there.